Now, wrath is interesting because I'm seeing a lot of people trying to justify anger today.
I'm one of those.
Yeah.
There is a place for anger.
Indeed.
But then there's an excess of anger also.
Yeah. What is anger in a proper sense?
It's the energy that God has given us to overcome evil.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the problem is a limited version of reality. So our emotions always respond to our perceptions. So I perceive you as a threat in a way that maybe you aren't, or that's a reduction of who you are. And I get angry, and then that anger has a way of reinforcing itself, and you become simply a threat. You are simply this one thing you said. You are simply this one way you hurt me. Or you may even trigger something in my own past because you're whatever, a man, or because I'm a priest or something. And so that hits something in me that triggers something in the past that is then not seeing you. I'm not actually receiving you in your wholeness as a person. So anger has a way of getting out of control. And then if I double down on it and add to it and then it becomes vicious.
Yeah, I think what I was referring to is online you'll see people referencing those more prickly saints like Saint Jerome.
I see, yeah.
Who would call his adversary a dog, you know? What did he say? Better a dead lion than a living dog like you, who was arguing against the ability to pray to the saints or that possibility. But I do see that, like, you know, if you want to see just angry snark, there's a lot of snark today. What's snark? There's a lot of snark.
Yeah.
Go into comment sections.
Cynical, sarcastic.
It is just rife with it. And I just think, I don't think this is how we Christians should be speaking.
Yeah.
What's funny too is, I mean, you get an over-representation of snark in comment sections because the people who are probably serious about their desire to grow in holiness just resist, and you never know that they resisted, or you never know that they didn't comment. They didn't have to put in their 2 cents. Snark. A lot of snark.
I had heard, you would know better obviously, that introducing the smallest kind of paywall reduces the vast majority of that.
mattfradd.locals.com. mattfradd.locals.com. Yeah, on Locals you have to pay me $10 a month to comment. So you can look at a lot of the things that I do and post. But if you want to be engaged in the community, you have to pay. And it's wonderful because people don't pay to be jerks. And what I found is that even when people disagree with something I say on Locals or somebody else posts, they're rarely like rude. They really try to understand. And that's something, it's almost like social media was intended to create wrath and snark. It's like a snark generator. Like it's meant to generate anger and cynicism because we all know wrath and outrage sells. Get people in conflict, that'll sell. I don't know what it does to our brains that it makes us feel more alive or alert. And so we're all just like broken down by the culture. And so if we get angry, it feels like we're a little bit alive or something. But
yeah.
That's what I'm seeing though. And then what I see is people justifying it. And me too, mea culpa. You know, like, yeah, you got to say, I'm going to say the truth. You know what I mean? Look. People say this like it's a new idea. Love doesn't mean just being like, you know, saying nice things. Like, yeah, we know that. But listen, the way you're doing it is wrong.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, Jesus turned a cord into whips. Yeah. And maybe you're able to do that. But also he was God and you're not.
Yeah.
So I think we've got to be really careful when we start getting angry. Really careful.
Yeah, every passion, the virtue is a perfection of a passion, right? It's the middle between two extremes. And the passion of anger also has a perfection in virtue, which has the, I think, unfortunate translation of meekness usually.
Gentleness with others.
Yeah, and I like meekness and gentleness, but where is the anger in that?
Yeah.
I've been thinking, this is a half-baked thought, so if
Let's do
you'll
it.
Provide me the opportunity, that some of the modern language around boundaries, I think being able to hold our boundaries, when somebody crosses a healthy boundary, then we spontaneously feel that frustration, irritation, anger, And that's a good thing, because our anger is the energy that we should have to hold proper boundaries. So when somebody is
give us some examples.
Attacking your show, or attacking your family or something like that, we want to hold up proper boundaries. And I guess what I want to say is that a virtuous way of doing that is sort of holding healthy boundaries, not getting vengeance. So that would be sort of the over on the one hand, or giving up and giving way. That would be the under. But the middle ground, the virtue, would be sort of holding a proper standing in myself. And this is the expression of Jesus, to turn, if someone strikes your, I just have to do this the right. Yeah. So it's a slap. So your left cheek.
Okay.
That means I'm slapping you.
Yeah.
Or is it the other way around? So sorry, your right cheek. So I'm slapping you with the backhand. That's demeaning you. And so Jesus says, no, then stand your ground. You can hit me like a man. So I'll hold my boundary. You're not going to take away my dignity. You're going to hit me as I'm deserve to be hit, with, an open hand or whatever it is. And likewise, being able to enlist someone to carry something for 1 mile was part of Roman law, but then to say, now I'm going to carry it of my own free will. So you're not going to take away my dignity. You're not going to make me your slave to simply do your bidding. I'm going to freely choose to do this and show you that by exceeding what is necessary. And so this way of holding ground, and that's a healthy expression of anger. It takes energy to do that. It takes energy to resist the second hit. It takes energy to carry the burden the second mile. And so, anyway.
I'd like to hear a little bit more about boundaries, only because I've seen that book. I have that book in my mind with the lead pencil,
Yeah.
And I haven't read it, but a lot of people spoke highly of it. Yeah. I mean, you're a spiritual father to many people. So, I mean, is there a way you could kind of give us another example of how maybe you've experienced people crossing boundaries and why they had to assert themselves? Obviously, without giving anything away.
Yes, of course.
Well, there was that time, Matt, you told me, no.
Yeah, I could think, let's see. I should have some ready examples, and I don't, but we'll come up with something. I've thought, more universally. Well, let me start here, and that'll be sufficiently distant. In terms of religious life, we talk about the vow of obedience and what is proper there, and that vow is not a matter of the submission of intellect. So, if my I have to watch myself that if a person, thank you, if a person's bishop or religious superior were to tell him, I'm going to close this parish, or I'm going to change this program, and that's God's will and you need to like it. Like, well, no, I don't need to like it. I can respect your authority to take that action, but I don't need to imagine even that it's God's will necessarily. It's God's will to obey the bishop. It's not God's will necessarily what the bishop plans out to close the parish or to open the parish or to tear the building down or build a new building or something like that. And so being able to hold the boundary of, well, no, I'm going to have my own thoughts about this, and that's appropriate. I don't have to think it's a good idea, but I can still do it. It doesn't give me permission to bash the bishop either, but I can have my own mind about this instead of saying, oh, everything you do is the best thing. Everything you do is right. Well, no, that's not the, so the boundary is being able to stand in the integrity of myself in that situation.
If I can give an example from my own life, when we started homeschooling our children, my parents, who are very good people, but had no experience of homeschooling and just thought it was crazy, maybe abusive. Why would you ever do that to your children? They'll end up stupid. They won't be able to read. They won't be socialized. All right. So all of those things are, okay, fair enough. Like understandable concerns given how you think of it. But this went on and on and on and on. And I got to the point where I said, I love you, but you need to stop bringing this up, or we're not going to be able to
Great,
continue to
great.
talk about, or to talk.
Yeah.
I love you. I appreciate where you come from. I hope I did it well. I may not have. But if I had have done it well, then that would be a good example, right?
right.
About
And
like, you're my parents, and I love you, and I respect you, but this is going to stop right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
The overreach into the realm of your family, your raising of your children, they can have their opinion, but trying to reach in and micromanage your parenting is crossing a boundary. And in order to make that resistance, as I think you did very well, we need some energy
Yeah.
to hold that.
Yeah.
And
it causes anxiety.
There's a
gross
tendency.
feeling.
You can see the both ends of that. It would be easy to overreact and say, "Let me tell you about
How
what
you
know
raised me,
about,
and I went
you know."
to school, and you did this to me, which
Right.
I
That can
wouldn't-
turn into
yeah, it
vengeance,
could
which
have,
would be an excess of anger.
Yeah, yeah.
But then just sort of giving in and, "Oh, you're
Yeah.
right, and I just
Oh,
have
so
to do everything you
sorry,
say,"
you're
and
right. Yeah.
that would be a
And
lack.
And yeah, right. Because I know, for taking myself out of the picture, for people to do things like that, you're causing anxiety for yourself. Like, it causes anxiety to like write to someone you love and say, "You will not do this. I will not stand for this," or over the phone, and then having to like wait for their phone call or wait for so it takes courage and momentum.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All right. That's good. I guess maybe sometimes, I mean, this is obvious, but boundaries can be wrongly used as well. You know, like, my mum wants to talk to me on the phone, and I said, "I don't have time. I have to have boundaries." So you can see how someone could use boundaries to justify selfishness, but that's true of every good thing.
That's right.
And just because something can be abused, it doesn't mean there can't be a proper use of it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, being able to see clearly, to establish the right lines around things.
I want to tell you about a course that I have created for men to overcome pornography. It is called strive21.com/Matt. You go there right now, or if you text STRIVE to 66866, we'll send you the link. It's 100% free, and it's a course I've created to help men, to give them the tools to overcome pornography. Usually men know that porn is wrong. They don't need me or you to convince them that it's wrong. What they need is a battle plan to get out. And so I've distilled all that I've learned over the last 15 or so years as I've been talking and writing on this topic into this one course. Think of it as if you and I could have a coffee over the next 21 days, and I would kind of guide you along this journey. That's basically what this is. It's incredibly well produced. We had a whole camera crew come and film this. And I think it'll be a real help to you. And it's also not an isolated course that you go through on your own, because literally tens of thousands of men have now gone through this course. And as you go through the different videos, there's comments from men all around the world encouraging each other, offering to be each other's accountability partners and things like that. Strive21, that's strive21.com/Matt, or as I say, text STRIVE to 66866 to get started today. You won't regret it. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Before you go, do us a favor, leave a comment, let us know what you thought of the video, like, and subscribe.